Alrighty. We're live. Sorry. Just there's noise outside and I wasn't sure if I'd close my window or not. Okay, hopefully OBS will start picking up the game soon. Because I'm back. I didn't sleep in. I didn't nap through my stream time today. I'm still tired though. I've had like maybe 5 or 6 hours of proper sleep since Saturday. A lot of lying down, but not a lot of sleep. So this might be a bit of a shorter stream, just depending on how my energy levels go. So OBS, do you want to pick up the game? You were detecting it earlier when I was setting up. I've got my energy drink with me, so hopefully that'll give me a little bit of a boost. There we go. Took its time this time. Alrighty, so July 9th, I'm fairly certain this is the one. Oh, hell, music. That felt like a very sudden shift. So, is this free? Okay, yeah, we've just been trying to help Rin finish off her mural. So it was tab, wasn't it? Just a... Oh. Oh. I'd refresh the memory, yep. Okay, so this is him, talking about his... Kenji talking about his fort, because he doesn't want to go out into the festival. Hello, my dear. Welcome to the stream. Oh. You got tired me again. I will stream as long as I am able. Well, I joined the art club, so I guess I'll go with them. Did we join the art club? I thought we established, all it seems to be, like Hisaf said, like, I'll come in, and observe a session of the art club. I don't think we, officially joined it yet. My phone screen is... Oh, no. Don't close the app. I'm just trying to get the screen to dim a bit. It's gonna run the battery down being that bright. Oh, tired too, my dear. Hopefully that energy drink helps you a little bit. You did what? I joined the art club. Man, that was a bad move. Really bad. You don't know what kind of girls there are in the art club. Troubled, angsty cuties who tear your heart out and eat it raw. Well, I know one art club member, and I don't really see Rin suddenly becoming a psychotic murderer. That seems unlikely. Don't say that. Don't fool yourself. You have no idea what you're dealing with here, man. They're the worst kind. They drag you in with all this fancy-pantsy shit, and when you least expect it, BAM! BAM what? Kenji seems slightly phased at my skepticism, but not any less loony. It doesn't matter. Tread carefully, man. Tread carefully. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire, and then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. I'm going to have to find some place to hide it. A safe haven. And then knock the lights out of myself so I don't have to experience this horrible day. I have the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Don't go to the festival. Okay. Later, dude. The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. The happy hubbub of the crowd greets me as I push myself through the main door and step outside. The school grounds were transformed into festival grounds over yesterday and this morning. Colourful stands line Colourful stands line the main walkways from the main entrance to the school building. Some people are still carrying stuff to and fro, but behind most counters are relaxed students who look like they are good to go. Most of the other students have been up early to finish the preparations. A feeling of guilt passes through me, but it soon goes away. I'm just a lowly transfer student after all. Some visitors are already strolling around the grounds. There are some young families with their perturbed parents trying to keep up with their over-enthusiastic offspring. A few students of our own accompanied by their parents. And a lot of old and young people who are here for no reason I can imagine. The carillon bursts into life, and the principal's squeaky voice announces the opening of the festival over the PA system. Everyone applauds politely, if a bit unenthusiastically. School festival. We didn't really have festivals at my old high school. It feels kind of old-fashioned, especially considering the school I came from, but it's still somewhat exciting. A day off feels sweet after the first week of hard work, despite me lying on the hospital bed for 4 months prior to this. I recall even wishing that I could go to math lessons during my stint at the hospital. I can't remember the program for the festival, even though Muto went through it during class just the other day. I step off the dorm steps, intending to take a tour around the grounds to see all the stuff the others have set up, but I only make it down to the bottom of the stairs. Nope, hi Rin. A few people are studying Rin's mural on the wall, while the artist herself is lounging on the sidelines, leaning against the wall and looking extremely bored and mildly under the weather. Good morning. Hello. How's it going? Nowhere. I'm stuck. What do you mean stuck? I mean I can't walk stuck. I think my legs are out of order because of yesterday. Oh. Sitting in one position too long. Got sore legs. I probably not sitting in the same position, but all the work she was doing for legs. But she did say the way she had to sit to work on the vertical surface was rather painful. Does it hurt? It's hard to say. Maybe. The strain of working on the mural was greater than she let me know. I thought it was just a bit of tired muscles or something. I mean to ask for something further, but Rin swiftly moves on to another topic. Teacher's friends came by. And then they headed into town for lunch and asked me to go. It was a good thing my legs hurt so much. Always finding a silver lining. But you're stuck sitting there? That's not good. I'll just wait till I can walk again. It should be either sooner or later, if you think about it for a while. The teacher was happy that I finished the mural. He should be. But I wonder if it's finished after all. Oh? I thought yesterday that I had done everything, but I'm not sure anymore. I should paint more details. Maybe. Probably. It's very hard to decide. Finished or not, the mural looks great in broad daylight. Various human body parts repeated over and over in a wildly mutating, mostly disfigured variety of their main element. They are rough-looking, as if faultlessly placed and rudimentarily painted, but a great deal of thought and care has gone into each and every one of them. Does this one have a frog growing out of his head? It's a goldfish. What's this? It's nothing. Anyway... The wall is so wide that I have to turn my neck from side to side to see the entire painting. It's hard to consider it as a single piece. The elements don't seem to fit together, but I guess they do create some kind of a whole. Abstract as it is, I have no idea what it's supposed to be portraying, but it looks nice. That's enough for me. I mean, I don't think Rin, is intending for it to portray anything. We can see it's the Act 1 animated cutscenes, all hint of what's going to happen. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to remember Emmy's. I remember it's like Emmy like helping you up after you collapse onto track. But I feel with Emmy's that was quite easy because I think that happened before you saw the cutscene. Because it wasn't only like on like the first or second run. Yeah, I think it's like that's as soon as you get the option to like push yourself. But I think that's the only time you like your heart causes you to actually collapse. Maybe I'd have to go back and rewatch it to remind myself exactly what happens with it. But yeah, I don't think Rin has an idea of what the painting is supposed to be portraying. Her philosophy seemed to very much be just paint. Don't think about what she's painting. I settle myself next to Rin, leaning against a wall like she does. The happy noises of the festival are becoming louder as more and more folk enter the ground. The dorms are far from the main attractions in the main building and the stands around the courtyard, so most visitors have not found their way here yet. Oh. A somewhat bored expression settles on Rin's face, making her look detached from everything that's going on around her. She's been awfully quiet. I wonder if she's in pain. So, what did the art people say about your mural? My question wakes Rin from her daydreaming. She lazily turns her face towards me. I'm not sure. I think they liked it. Maybe they did. What about you? Are you happy with the mural? Because I kind of participated. It'd be terrible if you were unhappy. Rin tilts her head, biting her lower lip. I think it came out decently. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It just is. I guess I'm alright at being empty-minded. Hello, Celestial. Welcome to the stream. You've got Sleepy Me today. Can I ask something else? What does the painting really portray? I thought about it yesterday when you said that it doesn't portray anything. But that's a logical fallacy, isn't it? You can't make something out of nothing. Not even art. Rin frowns and turns her head back towards the clouds. I don't know. I am not really good at explaining things. It's just a mural. There's nothing special to it. I said already. She sounds annoyed at my inquiries. I kind of get that a little bit. Because I know I struggle with like articulating what's going on in my head sometimes. Sometimes it takes too many words, or I use words and I have immediately like, I don't know if this works. So a lot of the time I just kind of keep quiet. I keep quiet on things because I'm kind of like, I'll just keep my thoughts to myself because I don't always think in words in English that I can tell other people. I didn't know what I'd paint, so I decided to paint just a mural. It's a mural that portrays a mural. No, wait. I just thought of a better way to say it. It portrays itself. So, its muralness is at the maximum, at least as far as I can do. So if you think it has some meaning, I think that's the same as this one has. That makes no sense. Meaning, I feel the corners of my mouth turning upwards into a smile that's just a tiny bit bothered. I have never understood art in the deepest meaning of the word. I get the basics, how art is supposed to be only a means for exchanging ideas and thoughts. However, I never learned how I should interpret a piece of art, to somehow divine what the artist intends to say through it. I know it's not any special skill, but somehow my brain never can connect art with anything else than what I see. All I see is a mural. I can admire the technical skill. After all, even I know the difference between bad art and mediocre art and good art. But That's as far as I can go, so don't ask me about meanings, Rin. Her reply sure made me reluctant to ask her about it any further either. So, what are you doing when you get on your feet? Nothing. Nothing, but there's the festival. Don't you want to go have some fun? I'm fine like this. You don't like socializing much, do you? Yep, I'm with Rin there. I think I'm arguing more for her than for myself at this point. It's not that I'm particularly thrilled about the festival either. Just a bit curious to see what it's like, and that's about it. Her answer is unsurprising. No, I don't. I guess me neither, in the end. You should go if you want to. I know, but I can keep you company. I'm not used to all this just yet, so it's okay to take it easy. I can leave, though, if you want to be alone. I like it if you're here. We circle around each other with words, but eventually end up somewhere. Her saying that makes me feel oddly happy. So I stay. Yeah, I think that's one of the things, though. Like, when you have someone like Rin who is, like, quite blunt and, like, struggles, like, seems. I don't know if it's a struggle or, like, an unwillingness to, like, to be understood. But, like, when someone like that, like, just tells you, like, straight, like, that kind of, yeah, I like having you around. I feel it means a lot more than someone who is like outgoing and extroverted and very social. Because like Rin strikes me as a type who's like, she's not going to lie about it. If she wants you gone, she'll tell you she wants you gone. Like, it reminds me a little bit of my little brother. Like, he can be very. We always think of Christmas presents where he won't pretend he likes a present that he doesn't like. But conversely, if he says he does like a present, like you it makes you exceptionally happy because you know that that's not fake politeness. That is genuine. He approves. He likes it. You made a good choice. Her presence is something I like too. The odd warm aura of serenity that she seems to emanate makes it comfortable to be silent. I really like that. We watch people walk by, the two of us silent, everyone else chattering happily among themselves. Students are leading their families to the dorms to show their rooms. They pass us in the mural, maybe glance at it once or twice. I pay less attention to them and more to my companion, trying to figure my way past her cryptic, unreadable wall of a face. Rin's eyes flicker restlessly from one person to another as they walk by. Is she waiting for people to stop at the mural? Maybe secretly hoping someone would comment on it? I don't think anyone would assume she was the artist. We're just sitting here like a pair of hobos after all, and she doesn't even have hands. I wonder if it's even in Rin's style to fish for compliments. She seems so aloof. More people walk by, some of them pointing their fingers at the mural, exchanging words that I can't make out. Someone drops a snow cone on his shoe. Too bad for him. Everyone seems to like it. I suggested tentatively, throwing a topic into stale summer air separating us. Stale summer air. I don't remind me of stale summer air. Rin doesn't answer right away, but by now I am mostly used to her occasional slowness when she must talk. It's like she takes great care picking her words, which is really unbelievable when you consider the jumble that comes out of her mouth. I wanted to make it so that you can just look at it without thinking. And I realized that it doesn't make any sense, so it became something like a mix of this and that. From far away, it looks like someone vomited a herd of butterflies on the wall. Which is exactly what that obnoxious present person didn't want. Is that word that? What word? That. What is the word for more than one butterfly? butterflies? No, like a herd or a school or a heap. A swarm? Most insects, it's a swarm, isn't it? Would it be a swarm of butterflies? I actually noticed one. I know some of them are, some of them are quite interesting. I can't think of any bugs I know that have like a unique distinguisher. I know like swans, I think, have like a curious one that I can never remember. There's like a gaggle of geese. I remember I remember that one. Oh, I don't know. A flock, maybe? Maybe people like butterfly vomit. That's a sentence. Rin looks at the mural, looking surprisingly unhappy. The middle could be better. Usually I like in-betweens, but this was a pain in the butt. Not literally, of course, but then again, I did get that too. I guess it was literally after all. Hey, don't be so critical of yourself. She looks at me funnily, but shuts up. At about this point, I start thinking if I should really leave and do something more constructive with my Sunday. This is the pinnacle of social failure. A whole free day, a festival right outside my doorstep, and what do? Sit here with Rin, two bystanders with nothing to do except to think what a pity it is to be just a bystander. Google says you use somewhere they call kaleidoscope. Okay, yeah, I understand kaleidoscope being the term. So I'm just remembering the butterfly house we went to in Chester Zoo. Oh, all the butterflies. Even realizing how pitiful it is, I don't do anything. I don't stand up and take off for a day of fun. I mean, to be fair, this is like to me this kind of is a day of fun. Just like chilling with someone you like. Oh, excuse me. Who needs the stress of hanging out around crowds and noise? Festivals are stressful. Shuffle, shuffle. Pitched. Shuffle. Rin is shuffling about restlessly, constantly swinging one leg over the other knee and then back again. She has a very irritated look on her face. Is something wrong? Yes, no, yes. She suddenly hops up on her feet. It's surprising. I thought she was still rendered immobile, but apparently that's not the case. Festival food is always almost makes it worth it. Yeah, I'll go for the food. I'll grab the food and then hide in the corner like the little gremlin I am. Just scuttle away into the darkness. Is this a case of like the more Rin looks at it, like the more flaws she sees in her own work? I have to go find Emmy or someone. I need some help with something. I can help you. No, it's okay. One of us has to stay here in case something happens. Don't be ridiculous. Nothing even remotely interesting has happened since I came here, except that one guy who dropped a snow cone on his foot. Let me help you, since I'm bored. That's your justification, Hisao. The best you can think of is, don't worry about it. I'm bored. That takes priority. So what is it? Rin's lips flatten tightly against each other into an almost perfectly horizontal line. She closes her eyes and draws in a deep breath. When she opens her eyelids, the frighteningly stern look in her dark eyes takes me aback. Isao, you might not want to hear this, or maybe you do. I don't know. But it doesn't matter, and even if it did, you are not leaving me any choice. I'm having my period and I need some help regarding that. However, I don't feel that our relationship is yet on the level where I could allow you to pull my underwear down in the girls' toilet, even if you offer to. Ah, yeah, that's understandable. That's why you should stay here while I go look for Emmy. As blood rushes to my cheeks like the rising tide, my brains try to desperately search for an answer, but the only thing I can think of is how that was the most coherent thing I've ever heard coming out of Rin's mouth during these 4 days I've known her. Oh. Congratulations. Well, I don't know if I should say congratulations to you, Celestial, but I can't think of any other... I congratulate you on being happy. And whoever it is who's getting married. Moment. On my back. Okay, I'm back. Just need to blow my nose. Yes. Not wanting to meet Rin's eyes, I turn my face aside, pretending I'm looking at someone's parents. From the corner of my eye, I see Rin turning on her heel and walking off without further ado. I feel like going to hide under some rock. I wonder how long Rin will be gone, or if she will return at all. She does return eventually, appearing seemingly out of nowhere and sitting back to where she was, next to my place. I'm back. She says it flatly, like my blunder never happened. I'd prefer to forget the whole matter as well, so I keep quiet. Oh. Okay, that's just the shadow moving. I thought that was like Emmy sneaking up behind her or something. Time passes and stands still. The sun gleams from high above the main building. It hits me directly in the eyes, but I just squint instead of moving. Don't do that. I mean, maybe it's not like everyone, but I always, like, if I have to, like, squint like that into the sunlight, I always get, like, my brow really starts to ache. It always happens when I'm, like, hanging washing out on the line at the wrong time of day. Because I need to look up to see the line, but the sun is also up there, so I kind of have to squint enough that I don't see the sun, but not so much that I can't see what I'm doing. In a bit, it becomes painful to keep my eyes open just a little and my temples start aching. My head hurts. I think this day gave me a headache, can you believe it? Are you hungry? How is that related to headache? It's not. I ask because I am. I don't care about your headache. I want food. Her oblivious seriousness melts my irritation with its ridiculousness, and I find the corners of my mouth turning slightly upwards again. You know what? So am I. I'll go get some food for us. What do you want? My treat. Doesn't matter. Don't tell me that I'm bad enough myself, like when someone asks me what I want. To be fair, I am Rin. I would be the person who's like, I don't mind too much. Except I know I'm a picky eater. I should be more considerate when someone like asks me, so hey, what do you want for food? I should be more considerate and try to give an actual response. Because yeah, I would, if someone just asks me, like, just surprise me, get me, I'll let you pick what I get. I get so stressed about making the wrong decision. Returning with the food, I give one portion to Rin, taking the other for myself, and we dig in without a word. Rin looks upwards, fork hanging out of the corner of her mouth. What are clouds? I always thought they were thoughts of the sky or something like that. Because you can't touch them. You thought like that when you were a kid? No, last week. Maybe because sometimes my thoughts feel like clouds, fluffy and white and slow, like the sky was in my mind, like mind was the sky. The sky of your mind? Close your eyes and think of sky. You won't be able to think of anything else until you stop. That's that feels like kind of something like obvious when you think about it. You won't be able to stop thinking about this thing until you stop thinking about it. I try it. It works. Magic? Opening my eyes, I see Rin studying me with her eyes. It feels uncomfortable because she doesn't say anything. I turn away. Clouds or water. Evaporated water. You know they say that almost all of the water in the world will at some point of its existence be part of a cloud. Every drop of tears and blood and sweat that comes out of you, it will be a cloud. All the water inside your body too. It goes up there sometime after you die. It might take a while though. Your explanation is better than any of mine. Because it's true. That must be it. I carry on eating food before it gets cold. The wall offers a bit of blessed shade as the sun revolves around the dome of the sky. But the afternoon is already slowly making way for the evening, so our lunch becomes more of a dinner. Or whatever the word is for an irregular meal like this. Despite what I decide to call it, it certainly hits the spot. I haven't eaten a bit since forever. My appetite filled, I let out a satisfied sigh. Rin hasn't eaten all of hers, but seems to be done with her food as well. I lean back, taking in the atmosphere. The crowd has thinned already, but activities are still going. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. That kind of brings up a question that I don't know the answer to. But would someone would people like in Emmy or Rin's situation who have lost limbs, would they typically need like a lower calorie intake than someone who hasn't lost any limbs? Because you get into, because at that point you have less of a body that needs maintaining. Or do things work out that it's still kind of you need about the same? I mean, yeah, but to be fair, that's due more to her activity. But I'm wondering, if you compared Emmy to someone who did the same amount of activity, but still had their legs. Cool. Rin very obviously seems much more, what's the word, lethargic when it comes to activity. I lean back, taking in the atmosphere. The crowd has thinned already, but the activities are still going. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. Might be more muscle usage since Rin doesn't have arms to balance. Yeah, I suppose that's the point. I think I did make the comment was it just last stream or stream before that? Yeah, Rin probably does have quite a bit of core strength. Maybe about the same, just distributed differently for me. Yeah, like I said, I don't know the answer. It was just kind of one of those curious thoughts that came up to me. Just when Rin hadn't finished eating despite saying she was hungry. And it's just kind of is she just getting distracted, or did she just get full quicker? I shall Google this. have I given you the curiosity now? Why not? It's warm. The kind of perfect summer day when it's hot, but not too hot for comfort. I wish that was what we had. It is too hot for comfort right now. The sun will set soon. Time really has flown by. We've been sitting here for 6 hours. Yes, we have. Do you... Oh, that was Rin saying. I wasn't expecting Rin to ask to do something else. Do you want to do something else now? No, not really. Me neither. She adjusts her position and leans against the wall, and I follow her lead, relaxing my own body. For minutes on end, we sit there without saying a word. She's helped me to adjust the caloric intake, but not necessarily reduce it. No. Yeah, okay, yeah, I suppose that's the point. Like, the healing obviously would need a lot. Okay. So it kind of can go either way. I guess it just depends on the specifics of the injury. And I suppose like in someone like Emmy's case, like are they more using a wheelchair or are they trying to use like prosthetics? Walking with prosthetics takes up more energy than 2 natural legs. The rest of the body compensates for lost muscle mass. Okay. You learn something every day. I'm just thinking here that it's interesting that Rin and Emmy are like friends, but already like there seems to be such a difference between like how things are going with them. Because with Emmy, it's all like activity. You're always like moving and doing something. And then your first day with Rin here at the festival is we sit for 6 hours straight. I'm trying to feel Rin's mood from her demeanor, the tension of her muscles, the tiny expressions fleeting on her face. It's no use. She's unreadable as always. The crowd swells to and fro, people happily chattering with each other. Very few people pay real attention to the mural, and even less to us. I fiddle with a few odd pebbles absent-mindedly. The act of doing something just for the sake of doing something. The pinnacle of idleness. Inch by inch, the sun creeps lower and lower toward the tree line, changing the color of the sky close to the horizon from golden yellow to orange and red as the moment of sunset draws near. I feel like my stomach is filled with lead after eating so heavily, but the brick wall feels... Excuse me? Ooh. Did not mean to bump the microphone. But the brick wall feels surprisingly comfortable against my back. I try to fight against the drowsy feeling that is overwhelming me. To no avail. Oh, nap time. I wish I could have a proper nap. Oh boy. I wake up with a start. A low boom reverberates through the school grounds. After images of bright sparks flash from my vision like stars. Something rises towards the skies from the direction of the sports field. A tail of fire trails behind it until a burst of red and yellow flame lights the sky high above the school with another loud boom. Fireworks. The sudden flash of light against the canvas of the night sky awakens me to realize that it's actually dark already. How long did I sleep? I feel groggy and can't feel my right arm. As I attempt to flex it, I realize why. Oh. Rin is leaning heavily against my shoulder, almost falling on my lap. She is fast asleep, not even fazed by the fireworks. Her mouth is slightly open and her eyes are peacefully closed. The sleeping, childlike face of the innocent. I shake Rin gently with my free arm, trying to wake her up, or failing that, move her so that my other arm is liberated from its pinch. Rin's face twitches and her eyelids shut tighter, as if to resist against waking up. She gradually opens her eyes, but keeps them half closed, letting the light from the fireworks sneak just past her eyelashes, so that her green irises mirror the bright flashes of the explosions. Then looks up at me and frowns. Just a while longer, okay? Rin's voice is drowsy and slow, leaving her almost unintelligibly muttered words hanging lazily in the air. It seems she is not entirely aware of the situation. Rin's head drops back on my shoulder as she leans against me with all her weight. She snuggles against my side, trying to make herself comfortable, but making me feel very uncomfortable at the same time. I become intensely, almost painfully aware of Rim's warm body, and the deep, peaceful movement of her chest against my arm, her breathing soon returning to the even rhythm. I can't help admiring her gift for sleeping, or the ease of mind of hers to use someone she has known for less than a week as a pillow. The rockets rise up to the sky one at a time, breaking into flowers of red, green, and gold, accompanied by the oohs and ahs of the audience. I try to push Rin's disconcerting proximity out of my mind, or what can I do about it? I just hope her short while really is that. One by one, the glittery bursts are born and die in a blink of an eye, coloring the dark night sky into a constantly changing abstract painting. I listen to the low booms of the explosions, and Rin's quiet breathing, trying to clear my own head of the post-awakening disorientation. Thankfully, just a while longer really proves to be just a while, as Rin stirs from her slumber and wakes up again before the fireworks are over. I fell asleep. She finally opens her eyes completely and blinks a few times. You fell asleep on top of me. Twice. You didn't like it? Well... Despite the inconclusive stammering, Rin sits upright, drawing herself away from me. Well, you are heavy. It's a lie. She weighs next to nothing, but I have to get a jab back at her, even if it's under the belt. My mock protest fails to draw any reaction as Rin's attention is drawn upwards to the flashes of the fireworks. She seems hypnotized by the colorful play of the explosions. A slight tingling sensation goes up and down my arm as blood starts to circulate again. There we go, there's the pins and needles. It's unpleasant, but it helps me to get rid of this dizzy feeling. More and more rockets rise up to the sky, the bright colors of their explosions reflecting from the clouds. Both of us stare at the fireworks fixedly through the canopy of the trees, enthralled by the show. We would get a vastly better view of the sky if we moved even a couple of yards, but neither of us bothers to even suggest it. I really do like fireworks, even though looking at them makes me feel kind of sad, I think. It's like they want you to look at them so bad so they are loud and bright, but when someone looks, they are already gone. It's like they were not even real. They are real. I can tell you that. All of this is real, you know? If you think about it, nothing really lasts for long. Even like something like my life or yours is just a blink of an eye in the history of everything. Like one of those rockets. Poof, and we're gone. But we're here, aren't we? Yeah, this is reality. Rin sitting next to me, the loud bangs of the fireworks, the vast, unlimited sky. These things are definitely real, even though they won't stay here forever. I feel warm inside, and I wonder if it's because Rin is so close to me, or just the feeling of being alive. I don't really know what I should say next. It's alright. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. But you know, fireworks are pretty. But in the end, isn't it somehow silly to spend so much money on a fraction of a second worth of pretty sparkles? Rin rips her gaze off the still ongoing spectacle and leans backwards, looking at me with a repulsed face. Oh boy. Wow, I never expected you to be such a cynic. Cynic is a pretty harsh word. Rather than that, I think of myself as a realist. Isn't a realist just a word for what a cynic calls himself? Well, what's the other one I've heard? Like, a realist is what an optimist calls a pessimist. rocket goes out with a bang of silver and blue, leaving the grounds eerily silent for a moment until the crowd starts moving towards the main gate like a cattle herd. Wisps of grey smoke drift towards the dorms from the sports field. The pungent, sulphur smell of gunpowder it carries along feels like it sticks to my hair and clothes. Was that it? I think so. I stand up and stretch my sore back. Sleeping against a brick wall wasn't such a good idea after all. Rin stands up as well and turns to face me with an expectant gaze on her tired features. Although she seems to have trouble focusing her eyes, she is looking straight at me. Something I feel has not occurred too often in the past week. So... I suddenly realize we have been almost on a date here, as if by accident. Even if we did nothing. There we go. But it wasn't. So why is blood rushing to my cheeks and my speech stammering? I don't know what I should say. Especially since it seems Rin is waiting for me to say something, but luckily she solves my problem for me. Mariga Magica Etc. It's finally found? Is that a... I'm guessing that's a game for... Or a game for Mariga Magica? Good night, Hisa. She gives me one more lingering look, measuring me from tip to toe, turns round on her heel and skips off, disappearing into the crowd. Skips off? I don't think we've heard of Rin skipping before. Okay. Good night. I'm left standing there, giving my response to the cooling night air. The festival turned out to be nothing like I expected. I ended up spending all day in one spot with Rin, even though neither of us agreed on nor suggested that we do anything. I just didn't have anything better to do, and evidently neither did she. Rin's warmth lingers for a while longer in my body before disappearing into the falling night. Nope. Oh. The cutscene. Okay. This is definitely a bit more abstract than Emmy's cutscene. Disconnect. Okay. Immediate thoughts on seeing that cutscene are like Rin has questions like about like who she is. Like just that kind of like that more like the abstract art form of herself we saw for a moment there. And like the like painting a mirror of herself. I don't know, just kind of gave me impressions that like Rin's like she's not sure who she is almost. But I guess I'll find out. It's a little harder to tell with that than Emmy seemed fairly straightforward. It's already 8:30, but this morning's class has not yet begun. We were supposed to have physics, but the teacher is nowhere to be seen. Had I known this beforehand, I would have slept in too. Oh. Suddenly the classroom door slams open and Muto grunts his morning greeting to us from the doorway. Good morning, everyone. Muto looks like he has not slept at all. Is it the other ones aren't nearly as abstract? To be fair though, from what I've experienced of the other characters, I feel like it's in character for Rin's to be a little more like indecipherable. Like you're not I feel like you're not quite supposed to understand it. Stubble, his messier than normal hair, and the stained dress shirt created a less than favourable impression. I guess he had fun last night at the festival too. Excuse my being late, I ran into unexpected problems. I'm usually not one for festivals like this, but I hope you all had a good time. After all, these sort of events are important for you all, since they give you a short reprieve from schoolwork. The class replies with various degrees of enthusiasm, and Muto proceeds to take roll and get started. Right then, today's subject is photon particle physics. Lovely. Before long, I have descended into a comfortable coma-like state along with the rest of the class, letting Muto's rambling speeches pass through one ear and exit the other without leaving a trace. That is... I mean, I know I was hardly the model student in school, but I feel that is... No, not going to help you, Hisao. Now, who could tell us the solution to this problem? He's written a rather easy equation on the blackboard. Desperately, he tries to get the class to participate. Nobody? Come on, guys. That guy, how about you? Unfairly singled out and cornered, I give him an answer. It causes his shaggy features to twist into a genial smile that would scare little children senseless. Precisely. Good work, Nakai. I was wondering... Okay, so... In this route, does Hisao still kind of have a little bit of scientist in him? I'm both disturbed and honored by the fact that he can remember my name only 1 week after I transferred here. From what I've seen, Muto has serious trouble remembering the names of anybody else in the class, and most of them have been here since the first year. Maybe that's part of it. When like the entire class like comes in as a group, it's maybe hard to like remember all those names at once. But when you have like a transfer student coming in at an odd time of year, you kind of, I imagine you stand out a bit more, which would probably help you stick in a teacher's mind. The room settles into a dreary mood, students and teacher alike trying to get back on track after the festival. I figure last week must have been frantic for everyone. Not a minute too soon, the lunch bells ring. Make way! Important business! I turn my head just in time to see other people scatter out of the way as someone charges from the far end of the corridor towards the stairwell. It's too late to realize that I'm standing in the middle of the corridor, directly in the way of the oncoming human projectile. I try to skip back towards the doorway. Unfortunately, the person running towards me dodges in the same direction. In the following fraction of a second, several things come to mind in sequence, yet almost simultaneously. Excuse me. First, I recognized the girl who's on the collision course with me as Emmy. Second, I realized that it feels somehow very natural to be tackled by Emmy once again. I could feel almost comfortable, if not for the reflexive panic and terror. Third, Emmy seems to be carrying a foot-tall stack of papers while running into hall. Oh no. She crashes into me, but at least the impact was a grazing one on my arm this time. Owie! Why does this always happen to me? Gee, I wonder. Could it possibly have anything to do with you running through the corridor like you were on fire? She whimpers regretfully, looking like a hurt puppy. Oh no, the puppy had dog eyes again. The sight makes me regret my snappish comment the very instant it emerges from my lips. I was in a hurry. I can tell. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Emmy wails weakly one last time and rubs her forehead, as if to expel the ache while her gaze sweeps over the hallway floor. As she notices her neat stack of papers spread all over the floor in one big mess, she lets out a horrified yelp. Ah! Printouts! Oh no, what am I going to do? Sure, give me hell if they get dirty. They're probably fine. Let's gather them back up. Won't be a problem. We quickly round up the papers, and Emmy tries to sort the scattered pile in her hands back into the orderly stack it was. Where are you going? Nowhere in particular, I guess. I didn't want to be left alone with Muto in the classroom. I think he has a hangover. Have you eaten lunch? Not yet, but I'm not feeling very hungry anyway. She looks at me incredulously, as if doubting my sanity for letting such a thing out of my mouth. You should go to the roof. I promised Rin I would eat lunch with her. I bet she'd like the company. Uh-oh. My lunches with Rin have been remarkably unsuccessful. I know where this conversation is going, and it's hard to not get drawn along, so I have little choice but to play ball. Okay, I'll go pick up some bread or something first. Emmy smiles brightly before I say anything further. No, I'll go and deliver these super quick, and then go buy lunch for us. And Rin too, of course. What kind of bread do you like? It's fine, you really don't need to... Don't worry, it's alright. Consider it an apology. I'll be back before you know it. That's what I'm worried about. Don't get into another accident. Emmy starts walking down the hall, but since she's still talking to me, she isn't watching where she's going. I won't. Famous last words. She's already jogging back down the stairs as she shouts that not so reassuring promise back to me. Sighing quietly, I start plodding along in her wake. But instead of taking the stairs down, I climb upwards. The stairwell up to the roof is unlit and just as creepy as it was before. Excuse me? The door squeaks weakly in protest as I push it open. Squeak. Rin is there too, like Emmy said, lying on her back at the other end of the pebble-covered rooftop for some reason. Predicting something unnecessarily strange again, I walk to her as slowly as possible. Hello. She sounds very drowsy as she says that, stretching the end of the word with a slurred voice. Despite that, her eyes are wide open. I look down at her, my shadow overlapping her face. Also, it's kind of... Yeah, I was thinking for a bit, like, Rin lying on the floor, like, something feels off about that, and I think it's because if I'm figuring that right, they've just used her standing sprite and rotate it. It doesn't look like she's lying down. She's just standing horizontally, if that makes sense. I look down at her, my shadow overlapping her face. What are you doing? Rin raises an eyebrow. This part is funny. I thought you had a heart problem, not an eye problem. She answers, challenging the rationale of my perfectly valid question without even tilting her head to look at me. Rin's smart-ass comments are infuriating. Worst thing is that I'm not sure if she's doing it on purpose or not. Alright then, let me rephrase. Why are you lying on your back on the rooftop? She gives a lazy shrug and sniffs dismissively. I'm trying to experience. People probably don't do this enough. What exactly are you trying to experience here? I can't really tell, but there's probably a reason people don't do... whatever. She's playing dodgeball with me again, answering my attempt at small talk with riddles I don't want to puzzle out. But I don't want to ignore her either. Yeah, but the reason is that everyone is too busy with their lives to pay attention to the really important things. Like watching the sky? She tears her gaze away from the sky and finally looks straight at me. The penetrating deepness of her eyes once she focuses them on it. Penetrating deepness of her eyes when she focuses them on something is startling. Sometimes do it to stretch her back out, get some good grades. So, yeah, I don't lie down randomly too much. Sometimes though, if I'm feeling tired, like I've just done a workout or something, There's something about lying down on the floor at the top of at the top of the stairs. Like, not even with your legs like over the stairs or anything, just being beside the top of the stairs. Something about that just, it's different. I feel like for like a brief moment, like I understand why cats and dogs lie down like in people's way. There's something about, being in an inconvenient spot that just is, it just feels right. If you were a girl, I'd be able to see your panties. If I was a girl, I wouldn't come this close to anyone who tried to sneak a peek at my panties. I have that much common sense. Also, Rin says that she's wearing trousers. I wouldn't either. But sometimes it can't be avoided. Like now, for example. To tell you the truth, I don't even really want to peek at your panties, though. Underpants are the soul of a girl. You shouldn't peek at someone else's soul, even if you're not a girl. As a guy, I guess I can understand that. And to us, they're some sort of half-mythical object that we can't quite comprehend. Really, you're reading too much into this. Yeah, that's exactly how I think about them, too. What a coincidence. It really is. So, did you have world history in the morning class? I skipped class. To do this? Well, I'm not actually doing what it looks like I'm doing. Or at least I think that what I am doing doesn't look like what I look like, but from your perspective, probably. Yeah, I skipped class to do this. I guess whatever your reason is, it's as good as any. Giving in to the tired feeling in my legs, I sit down on the roof next to Rin. The pebbles are not the most comfortable bed in the world, but if she can stand it, then I should be able to as well. I guess so. So, let's go ahead and bring that up on stream, why don't you? Oh boy. What are you waiting for? Hmm? Try it. I bend my neck backwards to take a look where she is looking. The silvery blue sky, dotted by herds of cloud sheep, fills my field of vision entirely. While it's pretty, the view is nothing special, even though the weather is fair. I give it a shrug, trying my best to imitate the nonchalant manner which really seems to have evolved to perfection, and lie down on my back. The stones poke at my back through my thin shirt whenever I shift my weight even a little, forcing me to keep as still as possible. And so even do the I suppose not. God. No. Maybe that's a side of you I want to keep to myself. Oh, where? I try to ignore the discomfort in myself, instead concentrating on the vastness over us. Far above, the summer clouds drift soundlessly across the dome of the sky. Neither of us has anything more to say. Thus silence covers the rooftop. The subdued noises of students on their lunch break, cicadas in the trees, and traffic buzzing past the school are humming pleasantly somewhere in the background. I mean, traffic humming pleasantly. Traffic is painful to listen to. Listen, I had a great time yesterday. Did you? Well, to be honest, no, but it was alright. It was probably the longest time I've ever sat in one place without doing anything, which is kind of impressive. I tried to make it sound as convincing as possible. Is that impressive? I think it is. I'm usually too restless to do anything like that. I think I had a good time too. A cloud passes above us, casting its shadow on the school. A chill surges through me from the sudden change of sunlight to shade. I realized that summer is not quite in its full bloom, is not in its full bloom quite yet. The only measure of time passing is the slow pace of the clouds moving towards the town. Oh, excuse me. I've got hiccups now. Stray beams of golden sunlight leak through the gaps, blinding me for a moment whenever they hit me directly in the eyes. The blue of the sky looked so unreachable. This reminds me of the time I spent in the hospital, where I was bored out of my mind on a daily basis. Somehow, it didn't matter after a while. I learned to appreciate other things besides watching TV and gossiping with people I didn't even like. A comprehensive sensation of calmness spreads from my sight to my other senses, finally hitting my brain. An airplane zooms by, leaving two thin contrails in its wake like a pair of chalk lines, drawn from one end of the sky to the other. I wonder where it is heading. The low din of its engines carries all the way down to my ears, although it's barely audible over the racket from the quad. It's nice. It's nice, but I don't understand why this is more important than going to class. Isn't it good to do something you like? Every once in a while? Of course, but what are you doing? Emmy has snuck up on us without either noticing and is only a step away from me, holding several packages wrapped in plastic film in her arms. She leans forward and peeks over me, overshadowing my face almost exactly the same way I overshadowed Rin before. I wonder how weird this looks, the two of us laying on our backs on the rooftop. That's what I ask, too. I would be more concerned about what you are doing. If I were you, I wouldn't come that close to people who could see your panties. Rin! Emmy's voice is scandalized, but she quickly takes a step backwards, pressing her hands against the front of her skirt so abruptly that parcels of bread she was carrying fall. I quickly avert my eyes and glance angrily at Rin. She pretends not to see me. Kiso isn't like that, right? Right. Emmy scowls at Rin and crouches down to pick up the packages. She wipes the dust off them and skips lively around me to Rin's other side where she sets herself down. Anyway, here's your bread. Sorry it took a while. That's alright. Thanks for treating me. I pull myself up into a sitting position and gratefully accept the bread Emmy is offering. All three of us ravenously dig into the simple meal. The bread is surprisingly decent and readily fills my stomach. I follow from the corner of my eye the skill with which Rin handles her bread between her feet. I haven't seen you on the track in a few days. Oh, right. I figured it was too heavy a routine for me to start with. So you've been doing something else? I've been considering my options. She frowns, but doesn't pursue the issue further, for which I'm thankful. Emmy seems pretty headstrong, and I wouldn't really want to get pestered by her about this on a daily basis. I have enough burdens to bear with Shizune and Misha already. We barely finished the lunch before the bells ring, calling us back to our classrooms. Kitchen! Misha waves at me as soon as I enter and starts talking before I even make my way across the classroom. How was your festival? Did you have fun? Still somewhat undecided on that. I'd say probably. Why? Just asking. Her eyes glint in a way that tell me she's not just asking. I can't even start to guess her motives, though. As the well-timed entrance of the English teacher prevents us from talking further, Misha falls back to plan B. Oh. I was there all day with shit-chan. We had a lot of fun. You're passing notes now, oh boy. You're gonna get spotted. Weren't you supposed to be doing work? Don't worry, everything went really well. I don't reply to that, and she leaves me alone after Shizune demands her attention. My own attention, on the other hand, is directed out the windows. Now that I look at it from here, through the window and the foliage just outside, the sky seems smaller. I catch only small glimpses of blue. Everything else is a clutter of noise right in the middle of my field of vision. What experience did Rin want out of staring at the sky? Surely she's done it before. Everyone has. It's no use trying to guess her mind, but if I don't do that, then I have no excuse for not concentrating on the teacher's words. I look at the scribbles appearing on the blackboard, trying to figure out their meaning with little success. English really is not my favorite subject. We have a strong mutual dislike for each other. Thick, hot afternoon light invades the corridor, making the air feel heavy and lazy. My body feels weighed down by it as I drag it 2 doors down the hallway to the art classroom. Maybe this is part of the reason why I didn't join any clubs before. Afternoons just aren't suited for activity. Oh, people! I knock on the door of the art room and open it. A girl who was possibly doing something important with the scroll of paper she's carrying turns to reckon me and smiles in a sweet, if a bit confused manner. Hello? This is the art club, right? Yep. Are you interested in joining? Yeah. In fact, I might already have done so, but we'll see. I give her a weak smile, and her own widens a notch, making me feel less nervous. Great. Have a seat then. We'll start when the teacher gets here. Rin seems to be the only person I recognize. I wonder if it's that guy with the sunglasses indoors. Like, is he? Rin mentioned there was a guy in the art club who was blind, didn't she? Without even scouting the room for a good spot, I walk quickly to the back of the room and set myself on a free seat, apart from everyone else. A few other members are lounging in their seats, waiting for the teacher. Rin sits alone in a window seat, looking outside. She's the only person here that I know, although a guy I've never really gotten along with from my own class is here too. Nobody else comes to greet me. Maybe introductions are left for later, so I just settle for silent observation as well. One boy has sunglasses on, an odd sight indoors. An odd sight indoors, were we not at Yamagu? I'll bet he's the blind student Rin was talking about. The wait proves to be extremely short. Nomiya walks over to the stand behind his desk in 3 long strides, and gives a smile and a flamboyant greeting. So why does this guy get a name, but the nurse is always just the nurse? Good afternoon, everyone. First things first. Isao there is a new member, so everyone get along with him. He winks at me unsettlingly. All 8 members of the club, including myself, answer his greeting with considerably less enthusiasm. Still, people finally straighten up in their seats and begin to pay attention. I think some of you still have projects to work on, so please continue with those if you like. As for the rest, I was thinking that today we could do some rough studies. How does that sound? Nobody answers, except with some unintelligible murmurs, which Nomiya... excuse me. Not sure if you noticed in Emmy's room, the nurse and Emmy's mom were definitely seen. I hadn't quite put that together, no, but I don't think I was paying too much attention. I do remember, like, getting the feeling from that message that... Oh, confirmed by Emmy's writer. Oh. I did get the feeling that, yeah, after, like, the phone call that we saw Emmy's mum take during the track meet, that she was seeing someone else. But I must have missed the hint that it was the nurse. Alright then. Everyone not working on other projects, choose a partner and draw a sketch of one another. You should be able to complete this today, but if not, we can continue it next time. Or even do it again if you find it interesting. Remember to pay attention to lighting and shadow, and give it your best. Pairing up. I feel pretty awkward about it, hardly knowing anyone here. I wish someone would ask me to be their partner. People stand up and move their chairs closer together, but nobody comes to me. Pretty soon everyone else is paired off. friends team up with each other, but I'm left alone. Well, he did say there was like 8 other people, so if there's an odd number, pairing up's going to be a problem. Well, there is Rin. She's sitting in the furthest corner of the classroom, still staring out the window and seemingly uninterested in taking part in the exercise. Since she's the only other one without a partner, I walk to her seat. Alright, I really want to conclude the scene where you see the nurse at Emmy's house. End up not working out. Oh. That's a bit of a shit. I still think he should at least have gotten a name. It felt weird that he, like, came up so often and, like, was, like, clearly pretty important. Like, personally, like, important to Emmy. And if he and Emmy's mum were seeing each other. Oh, give me a moment, I need to cough. Oh. Yeah, if Emmy's mum and the nurse were seeing each other, that, I don't know, you'd think he would have been given a name, like, even just a surname. I can't see her face because her hair is covering most of it, and she's looking away from me. Rin? I call out to her. No response. Hey, want to partner up? You're the only one I know here. She seems to finally acknowledge my presence, head turning like a robot as she looks to see who is addressing her. Rin doesn't answer, and I don't want to repeat the question either. I'm sure she heard it the first time. Why doesn't she say anything? It can't be such an awful fate to be paired up with me, can it? She doesn't look at my face and instead stares directly at my chest and stomach. Oh, okay. Why not? Okay, good, great. I'll get the stuff for us. Looking at the equipment Nomiya has prepared for today's meeting confuses me. Instead of graphite or pencils, we are apparently supposed to do ink sketches. I've never done anything like that before. The teacher, however, seems confident in my abilities to adapt to this medium. Simple! First you do the outlines in ink, you let them dry, and then you shade with the diluted ink. This is called India ink, and it works like watercolors. If you're uncomfortable with it, use a pen instead of a brush for the outlines. Got it. I pick up paper, water cups, 1 pen for me, 1 brush for Rin, and ink for both of us. Then return to Rin. Grabbing a vacated chair from nearby, I seat myself directly opposite her. Do you want me to do it with my foot or my mouth? What did you say? She tilts her head, her brows forming questioning arches, as if she doesn't understand that I didn't understand the question. I don't mind drawing either way. It'll look better if I do it with my foot, though. With your foot then, if it's all the same to you. Nodding an answer, Rin gets up from her seat and kicks off her sandals. In 2 fluid motions, she picks up the paper sheet and drops it onto the floor, then snatches the brush between her toes before sitting on the floor in a weird, half cross-legged position. Although I've seen her do everything with her feet already, from eating to painting, this display of dexterity is so prodigious that I just stare at her, stunned. Rin contemplates her blank paper intently. The sharp tip of her brush hovers over the paper in anticipation. When she raises her head to see if I'm ready, I quickly turn my face away. I'll go first. Make a pose. What kind of a pose? It doesn't matter. That's the point. You have to make the sketch of the impression you get, not decide beforehand. I end up just sitting in my chair, my hands hanging limply between my knees. Just think of Power Rangers or Super Sentai or Kamen Rider, so many poses you could do. Jojo if you're feeling adventurous. Got half mind of how to know magic ponies and MLP, right? They hold. Oh yeah. You'd think that in a world like populated by like horses, that they'd have invented a different, like, you know, not human pens, basically. They're Jojo made them their own. I look at her, and she looks at me for a moment before beginning. Rin's stare is piercing but impassive, as if she were trying to absorb a part of me into her own self. I feel like I'm physically shrinking under the pressure of her gaze. I get the feeling that for the first time since we met, Rin is actually looking at me, instead of in my general direction. She sketches with confident, bold sweeps of the delicate brush, not caring about the potentially destructive consequences of an accidentally misplaced stroke. After she's happy with the outline, she stands up to pose for me, stretching her back and legs. This time, she doesn't look at me. Instead, Rin lets her gaze wander around the room. I'm relieved. It's easier to stare at someone when they aren't staring back at you. Even so, I find it hard to get the sketch going. I'm not especially artistically talented, so I'm scared my portrait will turn into something disfigured, especially when compared to my partner's skill. I don't want to embarrass myself too badly on the first try. Rin is not helping the process either. She doesn't stand still for even 10 seconds, tilting her head from side to side to judge her drawing, biting at her lower lip, looking unsatisfied, and constantly shuffling around like she was on hot coals. I finally managed to make some headway on my sketch, and with my outlines done, we both start inking in the shadow and light. Nomiya passes by and remarks on the beginnings of our sketches. Very good. Standing figure is easier for a beginner to get the grasp of. But I didn't choose to pose. I look at him and then at Rin in confusion, but he is already moving on to the next pair, and Rin seems unresponsive. Just like when she was painting the mural, Rin has become so engrossed with her work that it seems she has shut me, the classroom, and the entire world itself out from her own little sphere of existence. Every now and then she leans backwards, seeming to get some perspective. Sometimes she bends forward, leaning down until her nose almost touches the paper. This rocking back and forth looks silly. Suddenly, Rin proves she hasn't completely drifted off into a world of her own and speaks. Are you having fun already? She doesn't raise her eyes from the drawing, which is a good thing. The breaking of the sound sends a jolt of surprise through me as if I'd been electrocuted. I don't know yet. It's hard to say. I can't hear how she replies to my answer, because it seems she is suddenly having a private, whispered conversation with her sketch. Excuse me? I don't understand how she can draw so well when she has the attention span of a butterfly. As it seems she lost her interest, I go back to work on my drawing as well. I try to add texture to Rin's hair to somehow grasp the way the golden afternoon sun lights her bright red tussle of flame, and transfer it to my paper in shades of black and grey. Somehow this pen and the bottle of ink seem like such lousy, inadequate tools for the task. Minutes pass, but the sketch doesn't magically look any more like Rin than it did before. Her voice wakes me up from my despair. What about now? Is this like a "are we there yet" situation? Excuse me? Are you having fun already? Why do you keep asking that? Because it's a club, right? Clubs are meant to be fun. You join to have fun. Are you having fun? Is it important that I'm having fun? Yes. Okay. I'm having fun. Good. I wonder if I said that just to please her, or if I really meant it. I can't really decide which it was. I don't hate this though. I can honestly say that much. It's Good enough for now. As the allotted time to finish the studies quickly ticks away, I desperately try to improve my awful sketch, but it doesn't seem to get any better. Excuse me? I want to start again from scratch, but what would be the point? There's no time for that either. Okay, everyone, that's it for today. Please turn in the drawings on my desk, and I'll see you all next Monday. Hey, he's how it's better than anything I could do. I glance at my portrait. It doesn't exactly look like Rin. I guess you could say it portrays her, but that might be a bit generous. Look, if I could draw like this, I would be very happy, Hisao. The nose and jaw look hideous, and the shading is terrible. Granted, it's my first attempt at drawing with ink, but it's still pretty bad. That's not bad. She sneaked up behind me while I was lost in thought. Damn it! I was hoping I could smuggle the portrait to the teacher without you seeing it. Why? I'm not really happy with it. I wish I could draw better. You just need some practice. Do you take my drawing to the teacher too? Wish I... Yeah. I know, art is still something I wish I had a bit more talent with. Or at least a focus to, like, improve. No, but right, I don't... It's one of those things where my attention span is bad enough that I'm too quickly demotivated by how bad I am when I do try and practice. Curious myself about how the sketch turned out, I peek at the picture. From the way Rin was drawing it, looked like she was really into it. Nope. It's excellent. Somehow the seemingly arbitrary strokes come together to form an image of my face. From the shape of my chin, to the messy hair, to the somewhat gloomy expression. Oh. Hey, give me a moment. Oh, sorry, needed to blow my nose again. Got the hay fever. Oh. I think it's kind of just the tail end of the hay fever. It's been getting much better the last few days. Our sketch blows my mind. I feel this is... Like, to me, this feels like fairly clear-cut. Like, because... I don't know, this is bringing attention back to me and kind of... I suppose, like, making Rin... I suppose it is a picture of us, but it's making Rin's art. Kind of about us and our skill level. And hey, Rin gave us a compliment. I'd love to know that Rin has the most decisions. Oh boy. How many will I get wrong? Wow. You're amazing. It's not that amazing. But thanks. I take a closer look at her work. It's still glistening with slowly drying ink. You know, I look kind of grim here. You do look kind of grim. I mean, I agree, but it's also true otherwise too. Like this you. Not the you I made. Okay, like, yeah, you look grim because you look grim. This is how you look, Hisao. I do? I think so, at least. Her simple statement makes me suddenly feel incredibly self-conscious. I feel like I need a mirror right now to confirm or debunk Rin. It's a nasty feeling. Maybe it's just her. I hope it's just her. And that I don't look like that sketch to everyone. It's a good sketch, but somehow I get a really oppressive feeling from it. I see. Anyway, it looks really good. You really are amazing. Thanks. I'm glad I could draw you. You're an interesting person. You're an interesting person too, but that didn't help me much. My self-deprecation has no limits today, but Rin ignores it all. I knew that I could never compare, but to see the difference with my own eyes is quite humbling. Peace out. Oh boy, if I was in the class with you and you saw my attempt to do it. See, I tried to make you look like you think a lot, since you did a lot of thinking. And yeah, I might have overdone the fed up with life expression, but cynics are like that, right? I want to retort something snappy, but Nomiya gives me no time to think, ushering us to the door. Hurry up, you two! While we've been chatting, the rest of the club has taken their leave. I quickly pick up our drawings and take them to the teacher's desk before hurrying off to Rin, who has already left the classroom. She is not in the hallway, to my surprise. I wonder where she managed to run off to in just a few seconds. It would have been nice to talk more. Well, not that I had much to say, except maybe get back at her for calling me a cynic. It's surprisingly late. I already got used to school ending at the same time every day, so I can feel the extra hours in my head. And my gut. My growling stomach reminds me that I'm absolutely ravenous. I'm so hungry that I dare to try anything the cafeteria staff has deemed edible. Even when I see today's delicacy, fried mystery lumps, my steely resolve doesn't fade. I stuff the dinner down without tasting it at all, which is probably for the best. Is this like a common thing like people will have with school dinners? Because I know the cafeteria at my high school, the school dinners there were pretty nice. Like they weren't like anything like massively exceptional, but there was nothing to complain about. No, and when I've been in Japan, one of the days, well, it wasn't a school we were helping out at; it was a kindergarten. But like the food they served there to the kids was delicious, even if the portion size was far too large for me. Apparently, they kind of took the foreigners like have like big portion sizes, and like gave us portions about 4 times as large as what the kids got. So when I probably would have been fine with like one of the kids' portions, or at least like half of what I did get. I don't have much homework to do, but what little I have won't get done by itself, so I stroll towards the dormitories. Preparing for the post-homework lull, I knock on Kenji's door. He responds from the other side, although I can't make out what he said. I try the door, but it's locked. Why are you trying to say hello to Kenji? After several seconds, the locks click open and he opens the door. Oh, books. Hi. Hey, could I borrow a book? The library was already closed after I got away from my club meeting. He is squinting even more than usual, and his eyebrows are twitching nervously. Club? That's dangerous, man. Indoctrination, groupthink, brainwashing, you name it. High school clubs sow the seeds of conspiracy. Do you know how many secret societies have grown from high school clubs? Watch your back. Don't get too deep in. You might not come back. Okay, Kenji. So, how about that book? Sure, but return them. Don't spoil any of my books. No drinks, no food stains, no bodily fluids. Capiche? Sure. Thanks. Instead of letting me in, he retreats from the door, closing it again. After a few seconds, he returns with a stack of 3 thick books and hands them over to me. Opening the topmost one, a familiar emblem stamped on the copyright page greets me. Your books? These are from the school library. They are now mine. You stole these? What are you talking about, man? I've been liberating these from the oppressive feminist movement that controls the library. Oh boy, Kenji, what do we do with you? Please say oppressive feminist movement doesn't mean that poor librarian girl, Yuko. She couldn't even oppress a wet towel. Kenji turns away, mumbling something I can't make out, and closes the door behind him. Before going to my own room, I enter the bathroom. While washing my hands, my eyes catch my reflection from the mirror above the sink. I try to look for the grimness rinse on me, but it's just the usual me inside the mirror that stares back. I attempt to tell myself that this is what I've always looked like, but I realize I don't remember what I looked like half a year ago. That's a thought to end the day on. Do you remember what you looked like half a year ago? I wake up all sweaty, as if I had run a half marathon in my sleep. Yep, I feel you there, buddy. That's been my life for the last 5 days. Odd. I don't recall sleeping badly. It sends a little pang of worry through me. I wouldn't want to have my heart acting up without being able to notice it. Oh, don't give me the tense music. Still, apart from this odd exhaustion right after waking up, I'm feeling just fine. My mouth is like sandpaper and I have nothing to drink, so I have to go all the way to the bathroom to take my meds. On impulse, I decide to take a shower while I'm at it. Okay, that's not really the tense music, but just that background bass. While I'm in the shower, I make up my mind that this counts as morning exercise, if I properly compensate with a nice half-hour walk around after school. Does it? Obviously, I wouldn't want to risk possible complications by going running now. That one just starts, tends to ease up. Yeah. So it just starts like very, very similar to the tense track. Yeah. Besides, Emmy will never know, and I think she's giving up on me in any case. Walking could be nice anyway, just to get to know the area. There's a big forest in the hills behind the school, or I could go down to the convenience store. While still dabbing the moisture off my skin, I set out to find my uniform. I quickly button up my shirt and pull on my pants before going outside. Normally during this time of year, I'd be eagerly awaiting summer vacation. Having only been at school for a little over a week, I don't really have that kind of feeling. I'm still savouring the school life, and considering the sharp and awkward turn my life has taken, I haven't had the time to become preoccupied with getting free of it. Besides, once vacation's hit, it'll be a nice surprise for me if I'm not expecting it, especially with the end of term exams looming ahead. At least I don't have any catching up to do with my studies. My diligence has finally paid off. I push myself past the boys gathered in the doorway and flop into my seat. From the corner of my eye, I can see Shizune and Misha pause their unavoidably animated conversation and turn almost simultaneously in my direction. They clearly want something from me. I can tell from the way Shizune smiles. It's too obnoxiously bright to be sincere and too calculated to be spontaneous. Good morning. Her greeting is made of 100% cheer and bursting energy. Morning. I failed to put either of those into my response. You don't look very energetic. No wonder. I don't feel very energetic either. I think I didn't sleep well, but I'm not sure. She slaps me in the back and grins. Cheer up a bit. It's a great day. I catch Shizune's eyes. She has a strange, focused expression on her face, but she furrows her brow a little at direct eye contact and looks away. For a moment, I think that Shizune caught a glimpse of my worries somehow and is wondering how to respond. But then she quickly straightens her glasses, and with them, her expression. Anyway, we were wondering if you're still interested in that student council position, because we're going to make you an offer that you can't decline. Wait, what? I wasn't really interested in the first place. You're putting words in my mouth. Not as such, but wouldn't it be nice to hang out with us every day while also being useful to your school? Well, to tell you the truth, I I kinda joined a club, so it'd actually be sort of hard for me to join the council too. Even if I wanted to, which I don't, as I said. Oh, is that so? Which club is it, Hitchan? The art club. Oh no. Shizune's eyes glint in a sinister way as she scowls at me. With the way she looks, I'll be expecting the art club to lose its funding before lunch break. Or the art teacher to mysteriously disappear from the face of the earth. Before she manages to comment, the teacher finally enters the classroom, getting Shizune and Misha off my back and sending everyone rummaging in their bags for books and pens. I did join the art club, but the first meeting didn't really boost my confidence. I'm not really sure what I'm doing it for. I wish I could draw like Rin, but I don't know what I would do if I could. To what end would I use such a skill? I don't really know. Ignoring the teacher's sleep-inducing voice, I opened my notebook to an empty page and pressed the needle-sharp graphite tip of the pencil onto it. What to draw? I can't really think of anything good to draw. As I hesitate and raise my hand, a meek black mark left on the previously blank paper seems aggravating. I can't even seem to get to the starting line, let alone get started. It's almost a physical feeling of being held back. Annoyingly, it reminds me of my failed attempt at jogging with Emmy. Emmy just has a problem wherever you are. Yeah, I kind of was getting the feeling that that would be the case. Because the two of them come on fairly strong with the, hey, you should join the student council thing. I look out of the window in desperation. Right then, a small bird takes flight from one of the cherry trees that grow everywhere in the school grounds. I can't really see it clearly, and it's not like I could tell one tiny bird from another, but I pick it as my subject anyway. Conjuring up the image of a bird in my mind's eye, I turn my gaze back to the notebook and deliberately draw a thick line across the paper to get started. It seems to be mocking me, as I can't follow up right away. Still, it's a start. Getting started is good. I slowly sketched a picture on the notebook page, the image in my brain becoming clearer as the drawing takes shape. It's really nothing. Just that nameless nothing bird on paper, but that's not important. My hesitation fades into the background along with the teacher's voices. I continue my struggle. The feathers form a simple pattern in my mind, but on paper it's a mess of too many rough lines despite my best efforts. I realize that I don't really know what a bird's wings should look like, even if I try to think about it. I even put the pencil down and closed my eyes for a moment, trying to trace the shape of a wing in my mind. Ironically, she doesn't have a problem with who you're romancing for. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I suppose like that kind of makes sense to me, because I assume like until you start going down her route, like you don't, like she doesn't really have this opportunity for her feelings about you to become romantic enough for her to care. To start with, it's just kind of fresh meat. Someone new to put on the student council. Being this serious about it all of a sudden makes me a little frustrated. Art class in middle school was the easy class in between exhausting subjects like math or Japanese. But there's this other side to art. The one that you see when you don't just fool around. Buddy, I feel this route is gonna make me feel bad about how badly I draw. I was just gonna go, Hisao just kind of going, my drawings are crap. And then he's like improvising this in the middle of class. Hichan? I look up to see two girls staring back at me. Misha and Shizune have carried their chairs to my desk and are now standing by my sides, looking at my drawing. How long have you two been there? I think you need more practice. Shizune draws a few sharp signs in the air between herself and Misha. Chichan agrees. Rin said the exact same thing yesterday, but why did it sound less condescending? You shouldn't judge before I'm finished. Besides, don't you know it's bad luck to see an unfinished piece of work? Misha cracks in exuberant laughter. What? Don't be silly. There's no way that could be true. Whatever. Shizune's eyebrows furrow dangerously, and the movements of her hands become abrupt, like the slashing of a knife. You should learn to take constructive criticism. That's not constructive criticism. It's an informed flaw in his as well when it's not really. I think, Misha, constructive criticism has to actually do the constructing part. You have to provide something that the person receiving the criticism can build on, not just, you need to get better. There we go. I would if you'd actually offer some. I know I'm getting too defensive and that Shizune has taken advantage of it, but I can't help it. What are you two doing here anyway? Misha wags her finger admonishingly at my nose. It-chan, we not... Oh, is that not... This is actually like a tisk-tisk. You're not listening to the teacher at all? Nope, we were not. We have a group assignment now. I nod obliquely and let them take the lead. So, what do you think of the lesson for today? Not much of anything. I didn't listen to a word of it. Misha slaps her forehead and shakes her head theatrically. What are we going to do with you, Hitchan? Luckily, Shizune and Misha together are more effective than 3 or 4 normal people, so I can mostly slack on the assignment. Rin is having too much of an influence on us. I try my best to offer at least some assistance, but I end up being mostly useless. The teacher keeps us in class 5 minutes past the lunch bells, but eventually lets us off the hook. I quickly stuff my books into my bag while Shizune and Misha carry their chairs back to their own seats. The failure of a bird drawing ends up crumpled and stuffed in my pocket as I hurry outside. Oh, another little skip. That felt like a rather short day. After that morning class and throughout the week, I keep bumping into Rin. Hello. This is somewhat natural, as our classrooms are adjacent. But rather than just cross paths in the hallway like people regularly do, we seem to pause at the sight of each other. We invariably end up talking a little bit or just silently hanging out together. I think I'm getting used to being quiet in Rin's company, as it doesn't feel as awkward anymore. I am, by nature, somewhat introverted like her, so we fit well together. I think it's actually an anomaly for someone in this school to be so quiet. Most people here seem to love socializing. It's something that I've noticed already, even though I haven't been here very long. People here talk a lot, and they talk all the time. It's a rare case when I see someone sitting alone, just spacing out or whatever. Obviously, there are people like that here too. That Hanako girl and myself, just to name 2 from my own class. But overall, they are a minority. At any rate, I wouldn't exactly call what Rin and I do socializing either, but it's something at least. These occurrences themselves don't bother me, but the fact they happen at all does. I'd hesitate to say that we are drawn together by something, but we certainly act as if we were. However, this sense of budding friendship is completely wrecked every time Rin opens her mouth. Oh. Can I listen to your heartbeat? She says this, or something else about as outrageous, and I have to fend off whatever nonsense her mind has cooked up during the preceding class of a subject she is not interested in. It seems Rin has taken a shine to my heart condition as some kind of an extension of her interest in the other disabilities that people here have, and the consequences of said afflictions. As I stand in front of her for a second too long, looking as flummoxed as I am, she concludes it is necessary to further clarify her request. I know I can, but, I mean, will you let me? Why? Do I need a reason? I'm usually pretty bad with reasons. Not per se, but if you want to do it, you probably do have a reason. That's kinda clever. You're smarter than you look. Also, I'd rather you not. I think these things should be private. Private. I get it. I can tell you something, though, if it amuses you. I'm pretty sure it will. My heartbeat does sound very weird because of the, condition. I feel this saying that's just going to make Rin more curious. I don't think she's the type to be satisfied with just hearing it from someone else, like hearing information like this from someone else. And I hear it all the time. So, you're paranoid. It's not a question, it's a statement. No, I'm not paranoid. The doctor said that abnormal attention to heartbeat is a common symptom of my condition. So, for you, it's normal to be paranoid. It's not a question either. One could also say that me being like this in the first place isn't normal either, but what the heck. Paranoia fits me fine. I don't think it's something that can actually fit anyone or anywhere. You know, I had an orange today for breakfast. How was it? I'm vaguely proud of myself, managing to keep up with Rin's sudden change of topic. Excellent. I don't remember when I last ate an orange, because it's annoying to peel. Yeah, I suppose that would be a fruit that's difficult to eat. It's on the list of things I want to learn properly. How come you ate one then? Amy had some, so she peeled one for me. Good for you. Rin stretches her back and yawns, and says nothing further. She throws me a glance from the corner of her eye while she watches people pass by, but I couldn't say why. I realized, though, that this is the first time I've talked naturally about my condition with anyone. In a way. A group of boys walk past us to Rin's classroom, but she doesn't pay them any mind. They pay none to her either. My mind wanders off, spurred by the silence. Maybe I should have let her listen to my heart. It's not like it matters. Nothing really matters that much at the end of the day. I start feeling depressed for... Oh, there's the tense music? I start feeling depressed for no reason, again. It's like a tidal wave out of nowhere rolling over my consciousness, submerging me underwater. I feel a sigh coming out of my mouth, and I turn away from Rin, pretending to read a poster on the wall. It's an advertisement for the school festival, promoting an event almost a week past. Okay, no, it's not the tense music again. That opening really does throw you off. The difference between me and Rin is that I'll be more likely to not dead before turning 30, well, she can't eat oranges without help. I can't decide which one of us is worse off. If you wouldn't neglect your morning runs, it might help your life expectancy. I try to grasp the passing of time, but it seems hard. I'm still used to the rhythm of the hospital, where trivialities such as the day of the week or time of day didn't really matter. Everything was the same, no matter what. Rediscovering the significance of time is an oddly disorienting experience, and I find myself enjoying the fact that I can categorize events in this fashion. The relevancy of a ticking clock is surprisingly delightful, and I decide to start wearing an analog wristwatch, something I didn't used to do before. When I finally ask Rin on Thursday about something that's been bothering me for the entire week, it's already lunchtime. The time is somewhere between 11:06 and 11:07, as my watch doesn't have a hand to show seconds. It's the old-fashioned kind with a black leather strap and titanium casing. It doesn't look flashy, but a wristwatch doesn't need to. Hey, remember that sketch you made of me? How you said I looked grim and gloomy or something? I'd like to know what you meant by that. She gives me a weird look and tilts her head a few degrees to the left, but doesn't say anything for a while. Well, You see, we've known each other for 2 weeks, and I haven't seen you smile even once. Her striking observation gives me pause. Have I stopped smiling? I have to take what she says as truth. She has no reason to lie. Something about the way she puts it annoys me. I frown at Rin, then try to correct my expression to look less depressed. I haven't been in the cheeriest of moods during the past few months or so, this is true. Does it show so much that someone like Rin can tell after so little contact with me? Should I try to smile more at Rin? Maybe she could appreciate it, having such a neutral face herself almost all the time. Have I really stopped smiling? I see. Should I smile more? I don't mind either way. Be as, be as you are. You can't help being Hisao anyway. But it bothers you? I just noticed it, that's all. Emmy skips along the hallway, jumps to a sharp stop when she reaches us, and lightly pats Rin's shoulder. Ready for lunch? Depends on what lunch is today. Remember that stew from March? Never again, Dad. Let's go anyway. I'm starving. As they are about to depart, Emmy turns from her friend to me, seemingly as an afterthought, and smiles charmingly. By the way, Hisao. Her tone is way too sweet and soft to be sincere. I can sense the trap about to be sprung upon me by this miniature health devil. I know what she's about to say even before she continues, because I've been trying to avoid her all week. I still haven't seen you at the track this entire week. Maybe I've been there when you haven't. That's impossible. I'm there all the time. But you sleep and go to class. I do doze at the same time as you do. Yeah, I know. I just haven't been able to pick myself up. You remember talking about our first situation regarding yourself about smiling? I told me you saw me. Yeah, you did seem to. When we were together, you did seem to be smiling more often than not. Don't rat me out to the nurse, okay? Running just isn't my thing, and I haven't come up with a good alternative. Why don't you come to the track meet this weekend? Maybe you'll get inspired. Track meet? Oh, we're still going to have the track meet event? Yeah, people from a few other schools come here for some friendly track and field action. It's on Sunday afternoon. I can't think of any reason not to go. Sure, I'll come and cheer for you. I guess you'll be running? Of course. You'll get to see me beat them all. Bye now. If I don't get something to eat, I'll die. See you later. Byron, I promise I'll smile next time. I call after as a bit of an afterthought. Afterward, I feel embarrassed about it. Wonder why I said anything at all. Oh, checking ourselves in the mirror again. That night, when I'm doubly certain that Kenji won't be barging in the bathroom, I look in the mirror and smile at my reflection. Me in the mirror smiling at me in the bathroom looks awfully fake. Smiling is something that is kind of difficult to force. But, well, I know it's a bit early. I think I might finish up here, because, again, I am sleep deprived. And I do need to get... I haven't really eaten too much today, so I probably need to make a meal before I fall asleep completely. Let's create a new save. And I did create a new save, didn't I? My 16th. 903. Things you like. I am hoping tonight will be the night I can finally get a full night's sleep, because I am getting a little sick of not Probably because practicing the mirror always feels rehearsed. Yeah. So, to be fair, I think I do sometimes make like a. I will. I will do my best to try. I know. I can't remember when I started, but I know I did at some point, like in the last few years of my life, like try to make a deliberate effort to smile more. I know because I do. I think on top of like I feel, I know I look better, like aesthetically when I'm smiling. I don't feel I soot a frown, but also like make choosing to smile kind of feels like it helps lift my mood a bit. But yeah, so I should be back tomorrow afternoon with some Monster Hunter. Excuse me. Uh, and yeah, then the next stream will be on Friday, and that'll be Mooney and I heading off to Azazla in Final Fantasy XIV for the final part of our Heavensward tour. And then we'll be on to Stormblood. But yeah, for today, this is gonna be me. So, I appreciate that, especially coming from you. But yeah, for now, I will thank you for coming along. I do hope you enjoyed, even if it was a bit shorter than usual. And yeah, until the next stream, I hope you have a good evening, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.